of series in the past from IndyCar, NASCAR, even some SCCA stuff in the past, club racing, and also the IMSA WeatherTech Championship as well. So quite a few series have been here, and today it will be hosting the finale of the Grand Prix Legends season here today, and some passing places that you can possibly make a move is into turn 1, and then also you've got that run down the turn 4 kink, if you like, heading down the Moraine sweep, heading down to turn 5. And then also you've got the exit of the turn 11 kink, heading down Kettle Bottoms, heading down to Canada Corners. So quite a few places to make, you can try and make a move, but with these cars it's a bit difficult, and I think drivers are going to have to be on their games, especially the two drivers at the top of the F2 Championship, Andre Schumacher and Chris Hendler. But it's a fantastic track, Road America, and boy, I'm looking forward to this finale.
As am I. Well, let's have a look at the championship standings in the F1 side of things. Well, it's also not. Mick Claridge is your champion, and there it is, confirming it. 450 points. He has had a 100% win record of all the events that he's taken part in so far this season. Can he sign that off with an unbeaten season today? We shall see. Robert Olenek is best of the rest in second. It's been a solid season for the man from the United States. Topi Kortenemi sitting in third currently, with Ovi Trengrid in fourth, and Bill Tyler classified in fifth position. But Ryan, it's the F2 Championship which is really heating up.
Yeah, so at the top of the F2 Championship, it's the two Germans, Chris Hendler and Andre Schumacher rather. It's battling away for that championship, with Hendler currently leading, but only by 4 points. So pretty much he's got to finish in front of Schumacher, and Schumacher's got to finish in front of him to take the championship. So it's a swings and roundabouts battle at the top. But Michael Cook rounds out the top 3, with Emmanuel Pereira from France in fourth, and John Olsen rounding out the top 5 from the United States.
Well, that's good. We don't have to do too much math, Ryan, which you'll be glad to know. I'm certainly glad about that we're not going to have to do much arithmetic on the fly. It's winner takes all. So let's have a look at the race details then, and what we can expect here today out at Road America for our drivers. This is the season finale, round 12 of 12, 16 laps. So we will be going for nearly 70 miles here at Road America, and as always here in the Grand Prix Legends series, a completely open setup so the drivers can tweak away to their heart's content to get these Lotus 49 Classic Grand Prix machines into the window that they want. Now, if you score more than 17 instant points, you will be given a drive-through penalty. If you score 25, you will be disqualified. However, usually you'll find drivers will find their car in a crumpled heap before they reach those limits, so not too much to worry about there. So the drivers are out on circuit at the moment, setting their 2 qualifying laps. But before we get into qualifying, let's have a look at the Nations Cup standings. United Kingdom, 515 points ahead of the United States, 46 points in arrears, followed by Finland, Germany and France. So looking very good for the United Kingdom right now, thanks to Mick Claridge's heroics, shall we say. And there he is, running the number 2 plate today, our second seed, but the champion crowned, and well, I mean, Mick has been completely dominant so far this season, Ryan, but to see him with the championship monkey off his back, I guess it's stand back.
Yeah, I think it will be, with that championship pretty much wrapped up with just one round remaining. And I guess in a way the pressure lifted off. He can just go about his business and do what he wants now. He can just go for it, and I think he'll be wanting to round out the season in style by taking the win. But as we look at Chris Marikami at the moment, currently in 18th place, so not as close to the top 10 as he would want to be, but if starting further back is not always a bad thing around Road America, because sometimes in the opening laps mayhem can ensue.
That it can. Yes, you're absolutely right there, Ryan. It can do. Of course, lots of long periods of full throttle. So the drivers will be running a relatively long gearing, I would imagine, today. and also you should see a little bit of drafting as well for the drivers. So it might be that Mick Claridge, we've seen him clear off into the distance over the last couple of rounds, but today might be a little bit more difficult to do that. And as we can see, Rob Olenek and Ovi Trengrade and Michel Dudignon covering a tiny amount of time, as you can see there. The top 4 covered by a quarter of a second, which at a circuit as long as this, Ryan, shows that they're all very, very close on pace. But in the F2 Championship, look at Andrew Schumacher, 7th on the grid.
Yeah, absolutely. So Andrew's he's doing what he needs to do at the moment. First off, getting a good qualifying in there, sitting in the top 10 and 7th. And Chris Henler only down in 19th, so that's not really good qualifying for Chris, and it's not where he wants to be if he wants to try and stay in touch with Andre.
Indeed, yeah, Chris, that is absolutely true. Chris Hengler does need to pull out a big lap time to try and get up the field, otherwise it's going to be very, very tough for him to win this F2 Championship. We're looking at Marco Kika, who is, not on the pace there at all. So Marco at the moment classified in 13th position, and there he will stay, just going round for another lap of practice. But as we can see, Mick Claridge currently sitting on pole position, Rob Olenek in 2nd, Trengrade in 3rd, Michel Dudignon back again this week in 4th, and Andrew Schumacher pulling out a huge lap time. And Andrew Schumacher, I mean, to be 25th seat and qualifying 5th as it stands, mighty, mighty impressive, Ryan.
It is, and he's been putting on some practice, Andrew Schumacher, and it's showing in qualifying, 5th place on the grid, but as qualifying's finished, we'll jump to the grid.
Okay, so this is how they line up then for this final round of Season 1 in 2021 for the Grand Prix Legends Championship. On pole position is Mick Claridge, our now crowned champion, here for a bit of a victory lap, with Rob Olenek joining him on the front row of the grid. Row 2 sees Ovi Trengrade and Michel Dudignon completing a star-studded top 4. Row 3 will be Andrew Schumacher, the F2 Championship contender, and Topi Cortinemi will roll off from 6th. Sebastian Tizier will start 7th alongside Bill Tyler, and Michael Cook and Xavier Sanchez round out the top 10.
Starting in 11th is Bruce Nelson with David Shepherd in 12th alongside him. Marco Kika's in 13th with Will McDonald in 14th. Chris Marikami in 15th with John Olsen 16th. 17th was Gary Teal. Yanni Lehman in 18th. Chris Henler in 19th. And rounding out the top 20 is Glendale and Old.
Starting 21st on the grid today will be Matthew Maudsley, and joining him on row 11 will be Terry Worth. Emmanuel Pereira and Jim McGill start from row 12, with Dave Cohen and Robert Plumley starting on row 13. Row 14 will be Peter Wojciechowski and Roland Wallbank, and row 15 will be Laust Olsen and Hideki Kavisto.
Yep, starting in 31st is Michael Grangenziger, and 32nd is Cesare Piccolo, 32nd Gary Anderson, 33rd Roman Pavlowski, 34th Colin Bentley, 35th with Andrean, 36th, 37th Paul Ferrer, Eugenio Massa at 38th, and the famous man on the back row is Robert Reynolds in 39th.
So you can see all the cars prepared, lined up, ready to go. The green flag will be ready to be flown. The lights are up. And we are green for the final time here in the Grand Prix Legends Series. Good start from Mick Claridge, but will Rob Olenek be able to have a look and sweep it around the outside into turn 1? Doesn't look like it. Mick Claridge moves across to defend the line, and he reassumes the lead with Rob Olenek right there in 2nd and Trengrade 3rd. As look at this, Olenek straight to the lead, and that's exactly what he needs to do, Ryan. Needs to upset Mick Claridge's rhythm early. Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Rob Olenek attacking early, and what's in the background as well, because obviously Trengrade's got the run, so is Michel Dudignon. Both of these guys going to fight each other, heading down to this tight left-hander. It looks like everyone's been sensible, and Mick Claridge back into the lead, but Rob Olenek tries to do the cut back, but can't manage it.
Oh, and we've got a couple of spinners there at turn 5. Quite a few cars off the circuit. We'll come back to that when we can, but we will be able to get you that. So, Mick Claridge back into the lead after moving by at turn 5. You mentioned that before the broadcast, Ryan, how important that corner will be for overtaking manoeuvres. It's a very, very long braking zone, so good opportunity to make some moves. Up they go to the famous carousel. Now, in an Indy car, you must feel like your neck is going to fall off going around this corner, but here in the Lotus 49, absolutely no aerodynamics at all, or certainly no downforce at all. And well, it's all about the grip that you've got on those tyres, but it's Claridge from Olenek so far, and I have to say I've spotted something there, Ryan. Olenek's got a shiny new paint scheme, and I have to say I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I love it. It looks absolutely fantastic, and as they come through Canada corner as well, heading up to the final few corners, and Mick Claridge still feeling the pressure, and he's not pulling away like we've seen in previous races. He's definitely feeling the pressure, and also with his long home straight, the draft will be a major factor as well.
Indeed it will. As you can see, Mick Claridge moving across to the inside of the circuit and then back again, trying to cheat that slipstream effect as best that he possibly can, trying to disturb that slipstream effect. And Rob Olenek decides just to sit behind him for now, and well, I say that that's a little bit of a look there into turn 1. There's not much room there. However, there is here down into turn 2 and 3. We saw Olenek go by there at the start of this race, but no, decides to stick behind. Now, I would say, Ryan, that Olenek, he's really got to try and keep upsetting Mick Claridge's rhythm, because we know when Mick gets ahead, he stays ahead. Absolutely,
and that's fine once Mick gets into that mindset. He just he's in the zone and he pulls away, and I think Rob Olenek, he's not going to do anything too hasty. He's just going to just wait there and just show Mick that he's there, but he won't do anything silly like dive bomb him or lunge up the inside and do a silly move. But at the moment, it seems that everyone just about has been relatively clean in the first couple of laps, and Andrew Schumacher as well has had a good start as well, so that's crucial for his F2 Championship bid.
That it is, yeah. Andrew Schumacher in 5th, Hengler all the way down in 16th, yes. So work to do for Chris Hengler if he wants to try and win this F2 Championship. But through they go then, out of the carousel, down towards the kink. A really, really scary corner there. Of course, Captain Legg had a massive accident there back in 2006 in the Champ Car days, and very, very lucky to escape from that particular incident. As they head down to Canada corner, and you see there Mick Claridge actually touching a wheel on the inside of the curb there, quite interestingly. Then through turn 13, a real flow there, and great onboard shot of Rob Olenek here. You can actually see how smooth he has to be with the steering inputs. Very gentle, just wind that steering lock off, and then back on the power, opening up this Cosworth DFV engine. And well, it just seems that Mick Claridge is just starting to turn the screw a little bit here, Ryan. He's pushing.
Yeah, absolutely. To come across the line now, and the top 4 all still in the same picture as Ashley said in that as well. Rob Olenek puts in the quickest lap of the race so far, 2:02.983.
A very fast lap indeed from this early on in the race with a full tank. But we're going to have a look at what happened in the lap 1 incident at turn 5, folks. We believe Hideki Kavisto was involved, so here is a look with our GSRC replay. So they're coming down, they go under the Cheese Bridge, looking at Hideki Kavisto here, who is at the moment unflustered or unbothered, but I feel he might be coming into the scene. So it's all going on ahead of him. You can see there lots of cars off in the exit there of turn 5. Now Kavisto gets through relatively okay, but good news for Hideki Kavisto there, Ryan, but a lot of cars clearly in front of Hideki hitting problems there.
Yeah, it just looks like it might have just been a bit everyone just bunched up and caused a bit of a concertina effect, but back up at the front, Mick Claridge is still leading, but he's got that gap up to about 0.6 of a second now, and yeah, the top 4 are still relatively close at still close together at the moment, but it looks like Mick Claridge is getting into that mindset and just starting to pull away now.
Yeah, we've seen this so many times this season. Now, if my memory is serving me correctly, Ryan, now, am I remembering correctly that Mick told us a few weeks ago that he's never won at Road America before in the Lotus 49 series? My memory is telling me that, although I'm questioning myself because that seems unlikely.
I think it's quite possible this, but if he wants to do it, it'll be his first time. But looking back in the field, 15th place, Robin Pawlowski is in a battle with Terry Worth at the moment. And Robin Pawlowski, a name we recognise from the Grand Prix Legends, the Camel GT series that gets broadcasted on a Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock. So, yeah, Robin Pawlowski, a quick guy in this car, and also the Audi GTO or even the Nissan GTP.
Indeed, yes, and I have to say, Roman, if you see an Audi GTO in classic Team Lotus colours, it just works. It's fantastic, as we see here the number 10 machine of Gary Teal going by Emmanuel Pereira in the very colourful flying popsicle, as we like to call it, and good respect there from the drivers. So we're going to go up to Andre Schumacher. Now, this is a nervous position for Andre to be in as we look back from his Cosworth DFV engine back towards Topi Kortenemi, because this is more than good enough to win the championship where he is, Ryan. Chris Hengler is on the move. He's now up to 13th, so he's pushing. But Andre Schumacher here he probably won't want to put up too much of a fight here with Topi Kortenemi, and because he's got good time in hand.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like Gary Teal has apparently had a wreck.
Okay, so let's see what happened to Gary Teal then. Of course, he just made a space up, but it looks like it's happened at turn 5. Just makes a little mistake and then gets clipped. It's either from Roman Pawlowski or Terry Worth, who are in quite a similar paint colour. So, what a shame for Gary Teal. A little bit of an anticlimactic end to his race.
Yeah, it was a shame. He was having a good race as well, and it wasn't too long ago he got by Emmanuel Pereira. And it's an easy thing to happen when you get sideways and there's a car alongside. You can get a little bit of contact, and sometimes it can break your suspension or even give you a meatball flag, as Rob Olenek puts in the fastest lap of the race again in 2:02.913.
Indeed, so Rob is throwing everything he possibly can, but at the moment the gap sits at about 0.8 of a second between himself and the leader Mick Claridge, and you've got to think that Rob Olenek will desperately trying to get that win. Of course, everybody here, when Mick Claridge has been on the track, nobody's been able to get a win. So let's see if Rob Olenek will be able to put that one right today here at Road America. Already at 1/3 race distance, as we look back from David Shepherd. Back to Andre Schumacher here, coming out of turn 5, uphill to turn 6. And Topi Kortenemi looks to be sitting there quite comfortably, right?
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be too eager to get by as quickly as possible. He's not doing anything too silly or making any silly moves. He's just sitting behind Andre, and I think his best opportunity is either through on the exit of the turn 11 kink, heading up to Canada corner, or maybe the home straight heading up the Road America straight.
Indeed, yeah, we'll see where that potential move. We know that Topi Kortenemi is a fantastic defensive driver, that's for sure, but we'll see, can he do it on the attack as well. Brilliant, this is a brilliant shot here coming through Kettle Bottoms, through this absolutely historic circuit known as the National Park of Speed here at Road America, and rightly so. In fact, been racing here since the mid-1950s, and in fact the first race here was won by Carroll Shelby, no less, in a Ferrari in 1956, when Carroll Shelby was wearing what he referred to as his Texas tuxedo, which anybody else would see as farming overalls.
Yeah, absolutely. As a ride on board up at the front of the battle for the lead. The battle for 5th, between Andre Schumacher and Topi Kortenemi. As the battle between Rob Olenek and Michel Dudion spicing up as Dudion tries to make a move into turn 1, and it looks like Dudion's going to get the move done into turn 3.
Well, this is Christmas come early for... Oh, dearie me. Oh, they make contact. Oh, oh, they bang wheels and Dudignon hops into the air. Oh my word. Well, I was about to say that's Christmas come early for Mick Claridge. I think that's now 3 Christmases come early for Mick Claridge, because that little battle there between Olenek and Dudignon is just going to allow Claridge that little bit of breathing space. No, of course, Obi Trengerade there as well in 4th. But I want to see what happened there with Olenek and Dudignon. Just seemed the slightest bit of contact there, Ryan. And quite a violent reaction, certainly on Dudignon's part.
Yeah, as Dudignon's up the inside, and it looks like he's got the move done, but he loses it a little bit, and unfortunately he just tags the side of the Olenek's car. But luckily both of them are still going at the moment, but I don't know if Olenek might have suspension damage, or even if Dudignon will have front left suspension damage.
Well, let's hope not. That would be a great pity. That would rob us of a good battle. But it'd be interesting to see if Trengerade, if he wants to kind of make the move now, that certainly will have given him a bit of extra motivation. That's for sure. Seeing that little bit of argy-bargy going on in front, and just as we say that, Mick Claridge up to 1.5 seconds of that gap, and like we said, Ryan, you just cannot give him an inch because he will take a mile.
Yeah, and I was about to say as well, Olenek and Dudignon just scrapping away has allowed Claridge to just pull away and build up that gap to 1.5 seconds, like you say. So Mick Claridge slowly but surely checking out.
That he is. We've seen it so many times this season. It has been really a dream season for Mick Claridge. So Dudignon now recovering, as is Olenek. So whatever that contact was, it doesn't appear to be slowing them up too much. Maybe just bouncing off the tyres and just got away with it, hopefully. But we'll keep a close eye on it and see. Olenek now in 2nd position. Dudignon not able to make the move stick as they come back onto the straight underneath the famous Sargento Cheese Bridge. We're real cheese people. I have to say, I am a big cheese person too.
I'm just looking back at the battle for 5th, and it looks like Topi Portinemi got by Andrew Schumacher while we weren't looking, but I think Andrew Schumacher on the other hand has just been sensible in thinking of the championship.
Yes, I think he is, and a very sensible call indeed. He's got 6 seconds back to Cook in 7th, Bill Tyler, Shepard, Kika, Murakami, Pawlowski and Hengo now back in 14th. So at the moment it's looking very good for Andrew Schumacher, and he can, well, with 10 laps to go, it's still a long way, but he can start to just drive for that little bit of a margin in hand, and that F2 championship will be Andrew Schumacher's at the last moment as well. Now, actually, us Scots have had a bit of success here at Road America in various forms, Ryan. Of course, one of my favourite ones, in fact, is none other than Johnny Dumfries, who won here in a Porsche 962 in IMSA back in the 80s.
Yeah, I was about, you beat me to it. I was just about to bring that up, but yeah, he's been very successful. As the battle for P19 is going on as well, but sorry to dive away. As Will McDonald and Yanni Lehman and a few cars are close together.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? And it's getting very, very busy. They're going through the kink down towards Canada corner, and see Tyler there in the 10 car trying to make his way back up after that earlier incident. As we see Ovi Trengerade putting in the fastest lap of the race, 2:02.5, so taking 0.4 of a second off Olenek's best. Now, it's interesting. Ryan. We haven't seen Mick Claridge putting in any fastest lap of the race, but he's got a 1.5 second lead. You kind of think, how does he do this? Through teleporting himself into the lead? It's uncanny.
As in the background as well. Dudignon and Rob Olenek.
Oh my. I look at my timing screen and I look up and Michel Dudignon is doing a wheelie. That's not good. So here we go, down into turn 5. So you see a long braking zone. Dudignon goes to the inside. There wasn't really any room there. Olenek had shut the door. Dudignon missed his braking point, and into the back of Olenek he went. Now, Rob Olenek, that car has got to be out of shape now, surely.
Yeah, quite possible. I mean, it was a bit of a whack. As I just about to look at Rob Olenek as well, and it looks like, amazingly, he might have just got away with it.
I don't. Well, it's hard to say. You would think he's got to have some sort of rear suspension damage, or maybe the steering should be okay. But well, we'll keep a close eye on Rob Olenek, because that was quite a thump from behind. So we'll see. But again, that's given Mick Claridge a little bit of the edge. Again, up to 2 seconds the gap now. Now Ovi Trengerade, the next challenger, he's into third. Dudignon's dropped right back, so obviously nursing a little bit of damage. But back to ninth. Oh my word! Marco Kika was closing, but he's closing it a little bit too much, and he's in the wall hard.
Yeah, that was as we're just about to look at the replay now, and I just saw it, and I saw him flying off the track, and it looks like he might have just outbraked himself or been caught out. He lost it.
Well, that just shows you how difficult these cars are to slow down. The braking technology is, shall we say, of the time in the 1960s when this car was built. Oh, over the jump. And if you just pinch that brake, it can lock up and really spin the rear round. Also, if you throw gears if you're going down the gears too aggressively, the car will start to spit you off, and that's exactly what happened there to Marco Kika. So, goodness, well, it's been a race of attrition, which I have to say, Ryan, I actually don't know if I expected that here at Road America, but that's what we've got. Yeah,
I'm a bit surprised as well, but apart from that, it looks like most of the runners are still going at the moment. But that incident with Dudion and Michel Dudion, the way he just went flying, it looked like it kind of reminded me of Mark Webber at the 2010 Valiant Chip. He went up the back of Mikey Kualainen.
I do remember that. Well, that was a Lotus involved in that particular incident from my from my memory. I do remember Mark Webber's comment after that particular race, and or after his part in that race, and he's like, I was having a share, and I was thinking to myself, you're lucky to be having a share, mate. Don't know why that particular quote sticks in my mind, but there you go. Anyway, goodness me, we're riding on board with Roman Pawlowski, looking forward to David Shepherd, and Roman has the brightest overalls I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, I should call them the banana overalls.
Yeah, bananas in pyjamas. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We've had Barney, now we've got bananas in pyjamas. And Mr. Banana in pyjamas goes up the inside, bit of a slide as well. Style. That's what I like to see.
Yeah, that was a good move by him. He got it done, and Roman Pawlowski up into gains another position basically. But he's managed to pull away now. He's got a bit of front end damage, though, I noticed.
That he does, yes, he does have a little bit of front nose cone damage. How much of an effect that has is hard to tell. It'll be really difficult to see, but dearie me, Chris Hengler and Yanni Lehman getting a bit physical there. They're getting very physical. Here's the replay then. So, Lehman and Hengler coming into turn 14. Whoa, big lunge up the inside, and then just a light rub, Ryan.
That was a bit of a, as we would call it, motorsport ascent.
Ascent, yes, absolutely, yeah, full send, indeed, indeed that was. Now, you can see this championship evaporating, this F2 championship evaporating in front of Chris Hengler's eyes, because Schumacher up in 6th, and he's got plenty of room behind him to cook in 7th. So, looking at Michel Dudignon now, who's in 4th, who's got the attention of Topi Kortenemi, and we know that surely Michel Dudignon's car must be pretty wounded after that impact.
Yeah, pretty much. It looks like he's just watching his onboard from my in-game view, and it looks like he's struggling a little bit. But at the moment, Mick Claridge has checked out. He's about 2.5 seconds ahead now, and Michel Dudignon is just struggling to try and keep any position that he can as we ride on board with it looks like Topi Kortenemi at the moment challenging Dudignon.
Yeah, I have to say I love this paint scheme on Topi Cortinemi's car. That lovely red wine colour. It's the Lotus 49 UB40 edition. So you see, look at the suspension travel there, going up and down and up and down. And well, nothing wrong with the straight line speed of Michel Dudignon anyway.
Yeah, he looks to be okay at the moment. I'm surprised that after that incident, he's not got any further damage. But yeah, testament to these cars. They're built pretty well.
They are. They're built tougher than you might expect. It certainly has been the case today. The Road America spec are obviously made of double armour-plated bodywork, it seems, because there have been a few cars that have taken big thumps and got away with it. So just back update on the front, 2.9 seconds now the gap between Mick Claridge and Rob Olenek, who has a couple of tenths in hand, I should say, over Ovi Trengerud. So it doesn't matter what circuit we've been to. We've been to the Monza combined, right back at round one. We've been all over the world and all different types of racetracks. But wherever we've gone, Mick Claridge has been the star of the show.
Yeah, pretty much, and he's the star of the show today at the moment. And as we've got 6 laps left remaining in this race, and Dudillon still is under attack from Cortinemi, and I think Michel's chance for a podium is pretty much just vanished.
Yeah, he has vanished. Now, can anybody challenge him next season? We shall see. Of course, only a 1-week break for the Grand Prix Legends series. So no Grand Prix Legends next Saturday, but 2 weeks today we will be back for round 1 of season 2. So for all the drivers, they will get another go at it. Now, Terry Worth has had a spin, now down to 23rd place. Let's have a look and see what happened to Terry. And whoa, just misses his braking point at turn 6 under the Corvette bridge, loops it around, thankfully keeps it out the wall.
As the battle for second place is going on, just about to change between Rob Olenek and Ovi Trengerud, and it looks like Trengerud has gained the position.
That he has, so Trengerud goes by as they head into turn 3. Now, will Rob Olenek respond? Will he be able to retaliate? The gap is still increasing, over 3 seconds now. Mick Claridge has checked out with 5 laps to go, but will Olenek go for the move? Here he goes to the inside, hard on the brakes. Looks like he's got the move done. Can he get it stopped though? Can he get it stopped? He pinches the brake a little bit harder. They go side by side up into the Corvette bridge at turn 6, and Trengerud, oh dear, Trengerud has a bit of a wobble there, but gets it back up the inside and retains or responds and gets second position.
Oh, fantastic racing between those two. They're racing each other hard, but giving each other plenty of respect. I thought it was going to run into the back of Trengerud there, but yeah, these guys are going at it now, and I think they've pretty much just figured out that Claridge is too far ahead now, so it's pretty much just a battle for the final 2 steps on the podium.
Indeed it is. Yep, I think that is absolutely true. Claridge he's gone. So this is going to be our grandstand finish then for what has been a fantastic season here in the Grand Prix Legends series. Of course, these guys, Olenek and Trengerud, had a brilliant battle at Zandvoort, if my memory serves me correctly, which was very entertaining indeed as they come around Canada Corner. Now, again, another indulgent Scottish moment here, Ryan, because, you know, we are a double Scotch after all. That Canada Corner, I always think of Robin Liddell, in the Michelin Pilot Challenge race a couple of years ago, in the pouring rain, goes around the outside of a McLaren, driving a Camaro, and wins the race. Who would have thought you could go around the outside, let alone wet or dry, but you want to drive in the wet, hire a Scotsman.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, most of the time it rains in Scotland, so that probably came in handy. And I do remember that race that you're talking about. That was just I remember watching that live on the last lap, and basically my action was I was gobsmacked.
So was I. I thought, no, surely he's not trying this. Oh, no way, no chance. Oh, he is. Oh, he's done it. it was, yeah, I have to say I'd never seen the move done before or since, but it was possible. But we come down towards turn 5, and it's amazing you see the difference in line there as well. Trengrid having to go quite a little bit more of the defensive line, whereas Olenek going for the much more sweeping line on the outside to try and get a run on his rival Trengrid, but no such luck for Olenek. So we've got Yanni Lehmann here and Emmanuel Pereira bickering over 17th spot, I think, going around turn 3 and up the hill they go. And this gives you an idea. Just actually, how I'm surprised, Ryan, how little draft effect there is with these cars here at Road America.
Yeah, I thought the draft would have helped massive. Oh, it looks like Emmanuel Pereira's under attack from, it looks like Yanni Lehmann, Olsen, sorry. But yeah, good battle going on here, and it looks like at the moment this is the closest battle on track, and just ahead of these guys it's Chris Hendler and Jim McGill, but yeah, I don't think these guys will be catching them anytime soon.
No, I don't think so. Only 4 laps to go. Whoa! As we see another slide there for Pereira. So we go back to Ovi Trengrid then, followed by Rob Olenek. Now, look at the front of Mick Claridge's car. There is significant damage on the nose of that car, so I don't know if Mick Claridge has actually made contact with perhaps lap traffic or something. If you look at the front of that car, there's damage on there. Now, whether it's just from a curb, but it seems more significant than that, Ryan.
Yeah, I think there's a back marker just behind Mick Claridge, so I don't know if Mick's maybe just been caught out and just nudged the back of the back marker, or he as well. Under braking, these cars hit the ground sometimes. The front of the car hits the ground, so it could be down to that possibly, especially in this corner here.
Indeed, you're right. Yes, perhaps just scraping along on the downhill into turn 5 potentially, but hopefully nothing more sinister than that for Mick Claridge. That would be a shame if was to lose the 100% record because of that, something like that, like clashing with a back marker. So we come down into Hurry Downs, where you're hard on the brakes, don't ask. I think it's because is there not a horse racing circuit or horse racing track just there, right?
I think there is. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm convinced there is a horse racing track. And you said they were coming down to the Hurry Down. I think Trengrid's probably thinking to himself about Olenek, hurry up.
Yes, absolutely, maybe. Well, Olenek he's got to get the hurry up himself if he wants to get by Trengrid. Trengrid's starting to just gap his American rival ever so slightly now, and actually Trengrid maybe just a slither quicker than the Mick Claridge. Massive moment there for Rob Olenek, and I tell you what, with 2 laps to go, Ryan, that could be quite critical.
It quite possibly could, as Trengrid, like you say, he's starting to pull away from Olenek now, and I think Olenek was just maybe trying a bit too hard there, judging by that sideways moment. But at the moment, he's still relatively close at the moment, and I think he might just be sitting back and planning what he's going to do in the final lap.
Okay, so we look back then to this battle with Olsen and Pereira. Pereira ahead at the moment in the multicoloured popsicle-looking car. The driver with the yellow helmet there, Olsen with the blue helmet. Into Canada corner they go. And Pereira certainly had an eventful day. Lots of big slides and skids, but currently up in 16th position. Now, where is Chris Hengler? Chris Hengler is in 14th, so still it looks like Chris Hengler's F2 Championship is going to falter at the last moment. Well, actually, I'll rephrase that, Ryan. I don't think it's Hengler who is faltering here. Schumacher has pulled out possibly his drive of the season to be running well inside the top 10.
Yeah, Andre's just doing what he needs to do to try and win the F2 Championship at the moment, but Chris Hengler is not giving up by any means. He's trying to get by Jim McGill, and he's making the move into turn 3, and it looks like he's got the move done.
Good move there. Let's get a look then at another look at that particular overtaking manoeuvre. Chris Hengler coming out of turn 1 through turn 2 and down towards turn 3. Jim McGill there in the Honey Monster Mobile, a yellow and red machine. And a lovely clean move there from Hengler. And through he goes.
Yeah, great move by Chris Hengler. He took the chance when he saw it, and this is the sort of drive he needs to put in if he wants to try and have a slim chance of taking the championship at the moment. And he's doing well, but he could have been further up, close to the top 10 or even in the top 10. But I think just at the last jump, if you like, or last death, if you like, I think he's just going to miss out.
Yeah, it's been a great battle between them all. Of course, Andrew Schumacher has had his unfortunate events as well. Of course, getting ploughed into the wall at Watkins Glen a couple of weeks ago in quite violent fashion. But here is your champion then. Mick Claridge sealed up the championship last week. Today has been no pressure, and he has delivered exactly the same flawless performance from pole position. Absolutely exceptional from Mick Claridge, and Ryan, this is his victory lap.
Yeah, pretty much, and what a way to round out the season. A season where he's pretty much just dominated, and took the championship with 1 round to spare. And he's going to round it off in style with a victory. And I keep saying it before, and I've said it before in previous races. This is what makes Mick Claridge a maestro in this car. He's so consistent. He keeps his cool and puts in great performances when he has to.
You can see him a little bit of showboating there as well. You can see him wiggling the wheel around. He's obviously very, very happy with his day's work here at Road America, around the carousel for the final time, down towards the kink. Now, we have been promised a special race celebration from Mick if he were to win, and it looks like with a couple of corners to go, we might well get to see it. So what has he got up his sleeve? We will have it all for you here on the Global Sim Racing channel. I can promise you that. But here he comes then through turn 12 and 13, and the chapter is about to close. A perfect chapter in Mick Claridge's incredible career here in the Grand Prix Legends Series. A multiple champion, of course. Round the final corner he comes. Your champion, Mick Claridge, wins here at Road America, and something that's never been done before. A 100% win record. Absolutely incredible from the British star. And Ovi Trengrade getting second spot from Rob Olenek, Dudignon home in 4th, of Courtenay in 5th. So we go back to Chris Hengler, Yanni Lehman in there as well, Jim McGill as well, and we're going to get another show before we close off, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. As they come up to kind of the corner now, and it looks like the battle's really close at the moment. As it looks like Hengler's trying everything to try and get by Yanni Lehman, to try and do anything to try and wrestle this championship away from Andrew Schumacher as they come up to the final few corners. And Hengler is trying to go for the move up the inside. Contact!
Oh dear. Well, that kind of seals things up for Chris Hengler, and that allows the Honey Monster Jim McGill to come through in 13th spot. But Hengler, it was done anyway. Now, what has Mick Claridge been up to? That car looks a little bit bent up. So we're going to get a replay of this particular special celebration. You can see Trengrade and Olenek behind. What has he got up his sleeve? They go by. Whoa! Topi Courtenay wasn't expecting that, and round he goes. Whoa! Andrew Schumacher, your F2 champion, wedged underneath Topi Courtenay. Nice slow. Oh, I like that. That's a classy donut, Ryan. A nice slow, controlled donut. Very nice. And gets a hurry up there from Courtenay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is, we're going to take a very, very short break here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with official results and driver interviews. Welcome back to Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, where we have just witnessed another masterclass performance from Mick Claridge, and he did it. He sealed up that 100% win record, an extraordinary achievement. And there's your confirmation. By 2.6 seconds, Mick Claridge, your winner, over Ovi Trengrid and Rob Olenek rounding out the podium. Michel Dudignon a little bit further off in fourth after that contact at turn 5 earlier in the race. Topi Kortenemi was fifth, followed by your F2 champion, Andre Schumacher. An extraordinary drive from the German star. Michael Cook was seventh, followed by Bill Tyler. Roman Pawlowski, an amazing run through the field for Roman, and David Shepherd finishing in 10th. 11th was Chris Murakami, followed by John Olsen, Jim McGill, Emmanuel Pereira and Chris Hengler. So close to the F2 Championship, but a very worthy runner-up nonetheless. Will McDonald was 16th, followed by Laust Olsen, Yanni Lehman, Bruce Nelson and Gwendolyn Old rounding out the top 20. Peter Yevkowski was 21st, followed by Terry Worth, Michael Griesinger, Eugenio Massa, Andre Eng, Paul Ferrer, Gary Anderson, Robert Reynolds, Colin Bentley and Gary Teal. And our last few finishers then: Marco Kika, Dave Cohen, Cesare Piccolo, Sebastian Tizier, Xavier Sanchez, Robert Plumley, Roland Wallbank, Matthew Maudsley and Hideki Koivisto. Now I think I have our 100% win record holder, Mick Claridge, joining me. Mick, what a season it's been. Your thoughts?
Oh, mate. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah, loud and clear. Yep.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe I've done that. I wanted to do that from about, I don't know, when I suddenly, I was listening to you guys say he's had 100% record, I started thinking, I really wouldn't mind doing that because I've never done that. Yeah, just a bit freaky, that was. I don't know what to say, really.
Well, now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I have it in my memory, Mick, that Road America was a circuit that you hadn't ticked off the list before. Am I remembering that correctly?
It was an awkward race last time we ran here. I think the broadcast race, I think Rob and I got together and Rob gave me the win. So it wasn't a straightforward win. But yeah, it's one of the tracks that really shows my weakness, which is useless on the brakes. You didn't really get a chance to see it because Rob was playing around with Uwe, and I'll tell you what, when I saw him going side by side down the front straight like that, I was watching them all the way in the mirror, and I could see Uwe, as far back as they were, I could see Uwe behind Rob, and I thought he's going to go for that. And I'm so happy he did, because that was it. That was enough to just get the gap. As long as you can get away from the toe, you're doing all right, So that was a secret to that. It was just lucky. It was 3 races that have been just sheer luck, really, to be honest with you, Peter.
Luck and some speed as well. Mick, you've obviously been in the Lotus 49 community for a long time, and it's a wonderful place. But of course, there are other classic racing series on iRacing, which we do broadcast here on GSRC. With 100% record in the bag, there's nothing left really to achieve in the Lotus 49s. Is there any plans to go and take on a new challenge, perhaps?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I just look at the Lotus 79 series as pretty much the pinnacle on iRacing. Maybe as good as the Pro Series. I really do think the drivers are that good over there. So I wouldn't mind sort of trying to get in there and maybe getting a nice couple of top 10s.
Absolutely, I have to agree with you. The Lotus 79s are, it is extraordinary. Well, we would love to have you in there, Mick, and you'll be introduced as the Grand Prix legend coming in to mix it up with the Lotus 79 guys.
Oh, you guys!
Now, before we go, I'm sure there's a cast of people you want to say hello to, and some people that you need to advise us not to mess with. And now is your opportunity to do that, Mick.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, there's a load of people watching. I'll probably miss a couple of them out. There's Denise. There's maybe Manu. He's probably still watching under protest. Malcolm's probably going to watch it when I send him a replay. So hello to him. Maura, Mike Spain, Mike Carnage. That isn't his name. And who else is there? Oh, Steve and Wendy. They're watching. Hi to them, and thank you, Steve, for everything that you've done so far, mate. I really appreciate it. Who else? I'm forgetting someone, Peter. The Mackenzie boys. I might be.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting the Mackenzie boys. Don't mess with the Mackenzie boys.
I say if forgetting them is as good as messing with them, so that's good that you didn't let that one slip there, Mike. Mike, well done on a fantastic season, a perfect season by every measure, and looking forward to seeing you next season in whatever car you choose.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks to you guys as well. You've done a great job again with the broadcast. I really love watching the broadcast back. So yeah, thanks to you, thanks to Ryan, thanks to Sean. Been great stuff. Cheers.
Thanks, Mick. So next we're going to have Rob Olenek. Rob, what an exciting race that was for you. You're battling all the way through. Tell us your thoughts.
First, I just want to congratulate Mick. God, I can't even talk. Congratulate Mick. What a spectacular season. I really wanted to beat him today and not let him. It's kind of weird. I didn't want him to win every single race he entered and basically have a perfect score for the season, but at the same time, I'm a fan of it. It's pretty impressive. If I wasn't driving and racing against him, I would have been rooting for him. And the race today was, I thought if I drove a good race today, I think I could have beat him. I could have at least battled him to the end. And I had my moments where I was driving well, but I just was making too many minor little mistakes, pushing too hard. And battling Ove was fun. It always is, actually. Hopefully Ove never goes away and just always races here. And then the thing with Michelle, I didn't even realize that we made contact. I thought he just missed this brake marker and flew right by. And then after I took the corner, I saw 4X and I'm like, what just happened there? And that's kind of a shame. But fun race, great season. Would have been better if Mick wasn't so dominant. And but it's skill. I mean, there's some luck involved, but when you're already in the front and the guys behind you are battling and your pace is amazing, it's not really that much luck that you get away consistently in races. He's always putting himself in the position to win, and not a better guy that can do it too. So.
Yeah, I'm on your side there, Rob. I don't think there's any luck involved at all. I know Mick likes to be modest and say that, but yeah, it has been incredible. But you guys have all given us a great show. Now, final question for me, Rob, is I noticed that the tiger print is gone from your car, and you've replaced it with a very shiny new paint scheme. Tell us about the story behind the new colours.
It's years ago, I got this picture of an old Ferrari 250 short wheelbase race car that was silver, and it had the Italian color, so it was orange, white, and green, small skinny stripes down the middle. And I always just loved the way that car looked, and I've been wanting to do it for a while, and I've been hesitant to take off the Tiger scheme. That's not even my personality. Like, it was just kind of a fun little experiment to learning how to do trading paints a long time ago. I ran it, and it sort of become something I run. But I just wanted to run something different, and I think I'm going to run this one next season. I might decals and stuff. This was I woke up way too early today thinking about how I was going to try and beat Mick, and I ended up on the rig, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start that paint now, and I got it done enough that I could run it today. I'll run it next season.
Well, looking forward to seeing those colours out there. I'm sure it will look an absolute treat wherever you take it. Rob, thanks so much for coming in to chat to us, and looking forward to seeing you next season.
Yeah, you guys too. Thanks a lot for everything you guys do. It's awesome. I love watching these things back. See you guys later.
So finally, we have Chris Hengler here in the commentary box. And Chris, it's been an incredible battle between you and Andrew Schumacher for the F2 Championship. Today it wasn't to be, but your thoughts on what has been a great season?
Yeah, it really has been a great season. And first things first, just congratulations to Andre. You know, he was really quick today. I think he said he was a bit disappointed that he wasn't even closer to the likes of Mick and Rob and co. But yeah, I mean, he beat me fair and square. You know, he's a really quick driver. And I think if it weren't for some bad luck he had a couple of races earlier in the season, he'd have had it see Andre probably a couple of weeks ago anyway. So yeah, congratulations to him. Obviously, it's a bit disappointing on a personal level to have missed out. But overall, second place in the championship, and I'm not sure how many points it is. I think like 180 or something. Overall, for me, is far above what I expected at the beginning of the season. So I think I'll try to, look at the positives.
Absolutely. You're all such a kind and modest bunch here in the Grand Prix Legends series. I love the camaraderie. I mean, looking ahead to next season, we get a week's break and then heading into season 2. Are you planning on returning to Grand Prix Legends or anything else on the horizon for you in the iRacing world?
Yeah, I think I'll probably be sticking with the Grand Prix Legends series for next season. I think once things start to go back to normal a little bit with the whole pandemic thing, it might be a bit tough for me to, put the time in the car needs, because it really does take a bit of effort to get up to speed on each track. But yeah, for the time being, I'm really enjoying this series and intending to stick around.
Well, we look forward to watching you in action, Chris, and wishing you all the best of luck to go one better in next season's F2 Championship. Now, before we let you go, who would you like to give a shout out to here on the Global Sim Racing channel?
A friend of mine, Andy, said he'd try to tune in, so hope you made it. And yeah, hello to Rowdy as well, that's his dog. Thank you also to my wife for being so understanding with me spending every Saturday doing this. And of course, you guys on the broadcast always go back and watch you afterwards, and you do a great job.
Well, that's very kind indeed, Chris. Thank you very much for the kind words, and enjoy the week's break, and looking forward to seeing you next season.
You too.
So that is all we have time for this season of the Grand Prix Legends here on the Global Sim Racing channel. We sincerely hope that you've enjoyed the broadcast this season here on the Global Sim Racing channel for Grand Prix Legends, and we look forward to seeing you again next season, which begins 2 weeks today at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. But the classic racing action is not over. We have Camel GT today at 12 p.m. Eastern, and tomorrow the Lotus 79 series at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. A huge thank you goes to the companies that provide the software and the hardware for our broadcasts, and they're listed here on your screen. An additional thank you goes to June Lalonde, who provides our excellent music. See the screen for how to get a hold of more of her great work. A big thank you goes to Ryan, Sean and Dougie for their support on today's broadcast. And if you'd like to find out more about the Global Sim Racing channel, you can find information at theglobalsimracingchannel.com or our social media on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. You can even represent GSRC at the track by getting hold of some GSRC merchandise, and the full range is available at gsrc.storenvy.com. Don't forget to head over to our YouTube page and hit the big subscribe button as well, so you never miss a moment here on the Global Sim Racing channel. But until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.